Hi guys! Today we're going to talk about how to read a nutrition label. Looking at the back of an item can be confusing, but if you're trying to make healthier choices, it might be worth figuring out how to read to better understand what you're actually eating and how many calories, fat, protein, stuff like that are in the food. Starting this year, every label has to be switched to the new label. There was an old one, and now there's a new one, and I'll tell you the differences. So, what's different between the labels, the old versus the new? Well, the servings on the label are larger print and in bold font, which is helpful to easily see, and they better reflect the amount people actually eat and drink. The calories on the label are shown in larger and bolder font as well. Calories from fat have been removed because research has shown that the type of fat consumed is more important than the amount. Vitamin A and vitamin C aren't required on the label anymore because it's pretty rare to have deficiencies in those nowadays. But again, it's voluntary, so if they want it, they can put it on there. The serving sizes and daily values are updated. Daily values show how much a nutrient in a serving of food contributes to a total daily diet. 5% or less of daily value percent is considered low. Above 20% is high. Added sugars were added, which is awesome because some items have natural sugars which are completely fine to consume. Now we can tell specifically how many added sugars were added to the item. Added sugars include sugars that are added during processing the foods, like sucrose and dextrose, table sugar, sugar from syrup, honey, and concentrated fruit and vegetable juices. Vitamin D and potassium are now listed because Americans are not getting enough of the recommended amount, and they combat some health issues. So, how do we even attempt to understand the nutrition label? Well, here's a few steps to help you through it. So, the first step is to look at the serving size. When you eat an item, there might be more than one serving, so you need to calculate for how much you actually eat. For example, if the serving size is 1 cup and you eat 2 cups, you are getting twice the calories, fat, and other nutrients that are listed on that label. Number 2, check out the total calories. Find out how many calories are in a single serving. Like again, the first step, if you have more than one serving, multiply that by how many servings you have so then you can tell how many total calories you are actually consuming. Number 3, let the percent daily values be a guide. So what I mean by this is look at the daily values percent to help evaluate how a particular food fits into your daily meal. Daily values are for the entire day, not just the one meal or the snack. These are average levels of nutrients for a person eating 2,000 calories a day. So if a food item with a 5% daily value of fat provides 5% of the total fat that a person consuming 2,000 calories a day should actually eat. Depending on your needs, your height, age, weight, physical activity, you might need more or less than that 2,000 calorie a day. When looking at the label, we want less than 5% in saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. On the other hand, we want more than 20% in vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The fourth step is looking at the nutrition terms. So each item, if they say low calorie or low fat, after this you'll know what that means. So low calorie, the item has to have 40 or less calories per serving. To be low cholesterol, they have to have 20 milligrams or less, or 2 grams or less of saturated fat per serving to be considered low cholesterol. To be considered reduced, they have to have at least 25% or less of that specific nutrient or calories of the usual product. To be good source of, it has to provide at least 10 to 19% daily value of a particular vitamin or nutrient per serving. To be an excellent source of, they have to provide at least 20% of that daily value of a particular vitamin or nutrient per serving. To be considered calorie free, they have to have less than 5 calories per serving. To be fat free or sugar free, they need less than half a gram of fat or sugar per serving. Low sodium means 140 milligrams or less per serving. And if it says high in, it provides 20% or more of that daily value of a specific nutrient per serving. So step 5, we want to choose items that have low saturated fat, low added sugar, and low sodium. Eating less of these may reduce the risk of chronic disease. Number 6 is get enough vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Eat more fiber, potassium, vitamin D, calcium, iron to maintain good health and reduce risk of certain potential health problems. Choose more fruits and vegetables to get more nutrients, and aim high in the percentage for daily values of these certain nutrients. And lastly, I just wanted to quick talk about the ingredients list in foods and drinks. Foods with more than one ingredient must have an ingredient list on the label, and ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. So those with the largest amounts are listed first. So I thought it would be helpful to include a picture side by side of the old label versus the new label, just so you can actually see the difference between the two. So the number 1 on the new label shows the 8 servings per container is right on top, so you can see how many servings are in that container. Just to help you, just if you eat the whole container of like yogurt or something, then you know to multiply that by 8. The serving size is bolder and able to see. The calories are bigger font and also bold. Again, easier to see. If at quick glance you can see how many calories per serving. So you would multiply that by 8 if you ate the whole container. Then we go down to number 3 where it's the percent daily value. This one shows that total fat for one serving is 10%, which is kind of medium because remember, 5 or less is low and 20 or above is high. So when we look at saturated fat, it shows that it's low. When we go to cholesterol, there's nothing. Sodium, fairly low. Carbs, medium. But then when we go to added sugars, it shows that it's 20%. So this item has a high amount of added sugars in it. Then we go down to number 5, and it shows that it included vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium, which is awesome because, again, we need those in our diet to help combat health risks. And then number 6, it shows you that it's comparing all of this information to 2,000 calories a day, which again, it's for a generic person. You may need more or you may need less of that amount. So depending on your age, your weight, height, physical activity. So it's not specific to this exactly, but this will definitely help you in determining if it's a good food to eat or a bad one with your diet. So I also thought it would be important to include an image of an ingredient list for a food product. The items towards the top have the most weight, therefore make up most of the product, like I said earlier. So in this picture, milled corn, sugar, corn syrup are the main ingredients, while folic acid, vitamin D, and B12 make up very little of this product. The FDA food allergen label law requires food labels to state if they contain any of the top 8 allergen foods, or they are made in a facility that also makes food products with those allergen foods, such as milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts, wheat, soy, fish, crustacean, shellfish in their product. I hope this helped you guys understand the nutrition label a little better. It can be a little intimidating when you're reading a nutrition label. And yeah, I hope you liked watching my video, and there's more to come. Thanks!